Hey everybody! Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever you're celebrating. And if you're not celebrating, then lots of love and peace to you. I'm just hanging out with my horses here in the back of the pasture, and we really have honestly t-shirt weather, but I wanted to wear my sweater. Can you see? Love. Love is the ingredient that we need for our horsemanship and in our everyday life, and it makes everything better. So I have news for 2023, and I've been talking a little bit about it, but I've had so many people PM me and ask about it and wanted to know more that I thought I'd share all the details. So a couple weeks ago, I finally found the solution and what I wanted to offer when it comes to providing my membership. My Genuine Connections Horse Woman membership. And I wanted to do something special and something unique. And I wanted to do something where you don't just sign up for a membership and then you feel guilty because you never go in and look at stuff, but you don't want to cancel it, but you will soon. And so I wanted to create more of a structured learning experience at an affordable price, and to really give you some support so that you can make a difference for yourself and your horse, that you can stop, control, and pressure and even treat-based training techniques in 10 days, and to restart relationship and start creating real, true, and genuine interconnection between you and your horse in 30 days, and to receive 12 months of support to really stick with your New Year's goal. Because how many of us do know that we make those New Year's resolutions and then we don't stick with them? And one of the things that I see in my students that keeps them engaged and that is making all the difference and that creates positive change and transformation and stick-to-itness and that excitement of being part of a greater whole and living with reciprocity with female like-minded horse lovers from around the world, is that support, is that community, is that reciprocity, that giving and that receiving, just like we need to do it with our horses, that we don't just take, but that we give and that we also receive from our horse. So there are several components that are included in this idea of starting my membership, because you need to have not just videos that you go in and watch and pick and choose and just, see somebody doing it, what it should look like, because a lot of times when we learn something new, you really need to have that support to create the positive patterns that you're looking for, right? And you need to have that repetition and that consistency. I always check in with my students in my mentorship. That's the next level of support. That's really unlimited support with 4 group meetings a week and one-on-one video coaching and a members only group and so on. So that's the next level. But I was talking about showing up and participating and sending in videos and making sure that you stick with your goal and that you as the student show up in a way that you can take advantage of the, hi sweetheart, of the investment that you have made for yourself and your horse. And I want to facilitate that as best as I can. Of course, You have to show up, you have to do the work, you have to participate, but it helps to get those reminders, and it helps to have those days to show up and participate and to get new input on what to do next when you're struggling. So that's the idea behind it. And what is it that it is actually about? So I thought that if somebody just wants to have like a monthly thing that they participate in, then I can create a workshop every month. That is a 2-hour workshop where you show up, you participate. It's a doing workshop, right? So you actually have your genuine connections journal and you actively participate and make a roadmap for you and your horse during that workshop, right? Because it's important that we do that while we are in the workshop, because if I say, oh, I'll do that later, oh, this is great, you know, I'll watch that next week, most likely there's a very good chance we don't do that. So this idea that the community shows up together and participates together, and of course you have the opportunity for replay. But I thought, okay, this is one thing, but there has to be more, right? So we're gonna do in January a half-day set and achieve your goals workshop, and I do that regularly in my mentorship every quarter, because you have to have a clear roadmap. If horses love anything, it's consistency, it's clarity. If you having a plan, it's you having that roadmap that you can guide them as the lead in the herd of 2 or more. But for me nowadays, it's my herd of 7, right? Me and my 6 horses. So this idea of creating a really clear roadmap for the entire year, and to have that big goal that can be in front of you, that is worth it for you to keep on going, because we all know when we start something new, sooner or later, we're excited in the beginning, right? We have those ideas and those dreams that are attached to the goal, and then things get a little bit tough, and then we humans, we like to be comfortable, and a lot of times we shrink back and we give up and we don't follow through. So that's why we have a whole system of keeping you engaged all week, all year long. But we start out with that set and achieve your goal session. We also, hi Jill, hi Karen, and we're gonna show up for 30 days in the first 30 days to really look at what is currently working in your relationship, what is it that you want to achieve, and what is currently missing that keeps you from achieving the goals that you would like to achieve. And that's particularly for you and your horse. And when it comes to those step-by-step assessments, that inventory, I call that the happy horse inventory. So lots of people will tell you, you have to go in the round pen, and you have to go in the arena, and you have to do groundwork, while your horse has already formed an opinion of you the split second you show up. And if your horse in that moment decides you're not my lead, then you're gonna face an uphill battle. And there's that first stumbling block that we have in the way. Hi Jill. That will keep us from moving forward, because whether our horse decides we're not his lead from a dominant perspective or for an unconfident perspective doesn't really matter, because in that moment the horse decides he or she is going to take care of herself. And then for the rest of the session, we have to kind of roll a boulder up the hill, right? So the happy horse inventory will look at those everyday tasks that you're already doing, but in a new light and with a new mindset, the mindset of the LEADmare, so that we can stop the control, so that we can stop pressure-related training. This idea of making the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult, I think, is a total relationship buster. I used to be a Pirelli instructor. I used to do it I'm not doing it anymore because I recognized that it is really detrimental. And if you have been doing natural horsemanship and you've kind of reached a plateau, or you have some issues that you don't seem to be able to solve, it's because natural horsemanship is dominant and uses negative reinforcement and uses the idea to apply pressure and to release pressure. And if you think about yourself, if you're in a partnership, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a friendship, and somebody applies pressure, how does that feel for you? Oh, let me just push and prod a little bit on you, so when you do the things that I want to do, I can get to stop pushing and prodding on you. It's just not nice. And it really hinders the idea that we want to fulfill, the dream that we want to fulfill, to build real, true, and genuine interconnection with our horse. Because that's the next thing, right? A lot of people talk about connection, but they're really not wanting to build connection from free will and free choice, which that's what connection, in my opinion, should be. If somebody forces you to connect with them, how much are you gonna like them, right? We see that in human relationships that are unhealthy. Why do we want to do it to our horse and ourselves? So this idea that free will and free choice is so vital when it comes to building connection. And we cannot just expect our horse to connect with us. We, the human, need to offer connection. And if we don't see our horse, and if we don't hear our horse, and if our horse doesn't feel understood, then we cannot build connection, right? So here my little Fantasia, she's now with me for 10 months. Never put the halter on her. Why do I need to put the halter on her? I don't have a need to put the halter on my horses. I have set it up that I can do everything at liberty. And she is learning to connect with me at liberty out of free will and free choice. She's a little, hi Linda. She's a little Mustang quarter horse filly who was pretty much untouched when I got her this year in February. And she has been just learning to be a part of the herd, and that we're listening to her, that we're seeing her, we hear her, we understand her. We're setting related boundaries because she's a pushy little dominant one, very, very self-confident, very, very, very smart. And we're looking for healthy posture and proper biomechanics, because that means mental, emotional, and physical fitness. And it means my horse is not in self-preservation and self-protection. And that's what we need. And so many horses are in self-preservation and self-protection. No, you cannot nibble on my scarf. So this idea that we're really resetting the relationship at the beginning of the year, and that we then build on that foundation. And in those 30 days, yes, I will ask you not to ride. And why is that? Because so many horses out there that are being ridden are really not mentally, emotionally, and physically balanced. And it is not a relationship building task when we have not resolved the thresholds below riding. So the approach, the feeding, the haltering, the leading, the picking up feet, the grooming, the pre-ride safety check sequence. My horse needs to walk, trot, and canter both directions on a 22-foot line or at liberty with rhythm, relaxation, and interconnection with me. All the transitions, upward and downward transitions, need to be in place with rhythm, relaxation, and interconnection. Changing direction and jumping over something needs to be done with rhythm, relaxation, and interconnection. Because if I don't have it on the ground without tack, I'm not going to have it with tack. I'm not going to have it when I'm riding. So many things are completely solvable on the ground and will simply melt away if you have your horse spooking at things, if you have your horse jigging on the trail, if you have your horse not wanting to move along the rail, if you have posture issues, if you have missing healthy biomechanics, a lot of those things have the foundation in us not setting our personal boundaries, so our horse doesn't accept us as a lead, us not finding and honoring and dissolving our horse's thresholds, the mini and micro thresholds that nobody talks about, and of course the healthy biomechanics and proper posture, because that's the mental, emotional, and physical fitness that we need so that our horse can feel safe, secure, and confident with us, and therefore we can be safe, secure, and confident with our horse. There's Mr. Gus, and I think, let's see, Jill said something. It is so cold here, all I can do is honor my personal space while feeding. Everyone is moving out of my space nicely, and I can't see the rest of it, but Jill is one of my mentorship members, and when it is so cold and we can only do space conversations, a lot of times, you know, I hear people, oh, I'll wait until the spring until I join your program. No. Join it at any time of the year, but particularly in winter, because that's where we oftentimes can only do the little tasks, and that's where you're making the biggest difference. In those tasks, you're making the biggest difference. Especially when I have a horse that is kind of pushy and dominant, feeding is a wonderful opportunity to honor my personal space and to show up as the lead, especially when you're a heart-centered horse lover, because we female heart-centered horse lovers, we have a lot of times problems with setting boundaries, and that's why our horse has a hard time accepting us as the lead, with all the other reasons that I just talked about. So we're gonna do the half day set and achieve your goals workshop. We're gonna do the 30-day reset your relationship jumpstart, and so those are the bonuses. You get those for free. That's $147 and $197. And those monthly workshops that we're gonna do are usually $27 each, and they are available for a week. As a inaugural member, you get access for a lifetime, so you can always go back and redo the workshops. And then we have some other community features. So all of this, right, 12 workshops, that usually would be $324. The half-day workshop to set and achieve your goals, $147, and $197 for the 30-day jumpstart, restart your relationship. That is $147 for the whole year. Plus, if you decide you want to sign up for my masterclass, lifetime access, with over 100 lessons, where you get my entire program step by step, and you get a half-hour one-on-one session with me. If you want to sign up for the mentorship, where I do 4 weekly group meetings and you have one-on-one video coaching with me, then you can do that too at 50% off for an entire year. So you get a voucher for all my other programs where you save 50% when you become an inaugural member of the Genuine Connections Horse Woman membership. And if you would like to learn more, I have a Google Doc where I've written everything down in detail, what it is, why I'm doing it, what you're gonna get, and then there's also a sign-up link. And there's a limited amount of members that I will accept as inaugural members. So if you are interested, make sure you let me know with a yes in the comment section, and I'd be happy to talk to you in Messenger and make sure that that is the next best step for you and your horse. And it's an affordable investment to make a huge difference for yourself and your horse next year, and also to help spread the word that it's not necessary to use control and pressure-based training techniques, and also that treat-based training will create connection with a treat and not with you. That doesn't mean that I don't use some food reward very strategically, but I don't want to create that connection with a treat. I don't do clicker training, and I don't want you to come from a perspective of my presence is not enough. I need to add something so that my horse will like me, because that is a slippery slope that will never put you in the position of the lead in your herd of 2. It's very, very important. And we female heart-centered horse lovers, we want to do positive things for our horse. We want to bring things into the relationship, but it's you. You are enough. You are enough. You have a unique position as the human that no horse has, because you can actively facilitate positive change for your horse. No horse can do that. It's only you that can do that for your horse. So I hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for listening. Linda is saying Petra will make such a difference for you and your horse. Linda is a valued member, just like Jill, in my mentorship group, and her horse Bobby is the most lovable felt pony, and I just absolutely adore the change, the positive change that Linda has facilitated in the mentorship with Bobby. He has gone through a huge sequence of finding more and more relaxation and connection with his horse, his human, and it is so lovely to watch. Hi Kathleen, hi Christine. Thank you so much for you ladies being here with me on, I know some of you guys are in those cold temps and you're probably freezing and miserable and trying to keep yourself and your horses alive. And it's kind of, we have blue sky and it's absolutely wonderful. And if you ever want to come to Soulfire Farm for a retreat, the retreats are 50% off too for inaugural members. So if you're tired right now of that cold weather and you're thinking, oh my goodness, where can I go next winter to find a reprieve? Well, you can come to Soulfire Farm, 50% off as an inaugural member. Just another bonus right there. And it's just $147 for the entire year. Such a good price. I am so excited. And together we can make a difference for horses and humans alike. Be blessed. And if you're celebrating Christmas today, Merry, Merry Christmas. Lots of love and peace for everybody, because love and peace makes just such a difference when we have it in our heart for ourselves, for our horse, and others. Bye now. Have a blessed day.